it shows how the corporate media lies and spins. I think we already know they do that. Should I even do this? Should I show all the different lawyers for the victims saying they never saw Trump? Should I show how they're spinning what really happened? Because Trump, with Ratcliffe, for Israel, and the CIA, not just Mossad, are covering it up for national security because there's not going to be corporate leaders are involved, and it's not Trump. So I've said it. I'm not holding my nose on Trump. He's in there. He's way better than Kamala, but I'm going to cover this stuff. His administration is covering up the intel connections and the head of Harvard and all these other hedge fund people, most of them Democrats, almost all of them, because Trump has been convinced it's too damaging to bring out. And then there's some back leverage on the bad guys, like the King of England and his brother, to make them play ball. Well, it don't look like they're playing ball. Doesn't look like your blackmail worked too good because it's being used on you. And that's why Trump's so pissed. Which I said that's one of the things he might do, is either brings it all out, damn the torpedoes go straight at him, just to be done by the heavens fall. That's what I'd do. Or he tries to manage it because, he didn't want to bring down the whole country. Well, the cover-up is what's going to bring down the country. So I already war-gamed this. I hit it hole in one, and I guess I'll just go through it quickly. And maybe I'll do a longer report because I did so much preparation for this. It's hard to just kind of skim over it. Which still, my skimming over it will be the deepest dive anybody does on it. Which is again super frustrating because I see a trend, jump on it, kind of parrot it. They don't know what they're talking about. They're in mile wide and inch deep. They're all hat and no cap. So it's on record that Epstein posted at least 2 teenage servers, waitresses, ice cream scoopers, people running food vending tables, buffets, out of Mar-a-Lago. Trump got mad. Epstein kept doing it. Trump's wife got pissed. Trump's staff came to him. He kicked Epstein out of the club. This has been known for 15, 16, 17 years. I got all the articles, all the admissions, okay? Yeah, he knew Epstein. They did real estate stuff twice on records in the local news. Epstein and Trump went and looked at properties, and they fought over who could buy this apartment complex, this house. So they had this falling out over him scooping girls out of the Mar-a-Lago, and they had this falling out over real estate deals, fighting with each other over houses, because that's what Trump really does. He's obsessed with not baseball cards, pieces of property. And boy, was he right back then to be buying it all up. He went and bought Mar-a-Lago 40-some years ago, and it was dead. Now it's the hottest real estate in the world, that whole area. So they're like, oh, so the emails are like, oh, he was with Epstein, and you go look, it's a house they were buying or whatever, So, the Trump was fighting him to get. So Trump came out and said Democrats were trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Now see, you just say, the Jeffrey Epstein's not a hoax. You mean the hoax that you're involved. See, he never does the subtlety. Because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown. And so many other subjects. Only a very mad or stupid Republican would fall in the trap. The Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion with their recent annex of viciously closing our country. All true. While at the same time, putting many at risk of plane crashes, you name it. And they should pay a fair price. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and any Republicans involved should be focused only on opening up our country and fixing mass damage caused by the Democrats. It should say, trying to connect me to Epstein, a very real case, is a hoax. But he did it again, folks. That's because he's not stupid. The CIA has gotten him to agree to cover it up. And that's wrong. That's why he came after me. But he knew. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. We already know this. Read Jeffrey Epstein's newly released emails about Trump. So they're acting like this is this huge deal. But when you you read into the articles and you read the actual quotes of people, they're all saying Trump's completely innocent because they don't want to get sued. They know it's not true. But the headline, look, did Donald Trump inform on Jeffrey Epstein? This is from years ago. And you got Wolf saying it, you got Epstein saying it. That's when they had the falling out. Trump banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago for hitting on a girl. It's 2020. And you can read the lawyers and the women and all of them saying, no, they were never alone with Trump. But it doesn't matter because the headline says that, Trump is basically screwing kids. Republicans face Jeffrey Epstein reckoning as end of shutdown looms, and now it's out, and they release the best thing they've got, and it's nothing. I'm going to come back with some key clips.
Rumors, but I would like you to just, whatever you can say on it. Obviously, our current president has had relationships with Epstein in the past, and there are those Katie Johnson and maybe other victims who accused Trump of being involved in things like this. In my experience, Trump supporters will not listen to anything along those lines. Obviously, we're not a court of law here right now, but are those claims that though that case was dropped, it was dropped before it went to court, in your opinion as a lawyer and your experience, is there anything you can say as to the validity of those claims or whether or not there will be any more about that?
Nothing at all. The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That was in 2009?
That was in 2009. So,
do you know if there's any truth to James Patterson's claims that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago?
I've definitely heard that. I definitely heard that. I don't know that it was Trump himself as opposed to a manager there. Yeah, I've heard the rumor that Epstein was kicked out of there for allegedly trying to pick up somebody's daughter or something like that. But I think I did chase that down as far as I could and never was able to confirm it. But I heard